Salutations, Guardians. It's Chris Peralta from PS Rewind. It's been 7 years of the Destiny franchise. Let's talk about it. Fresh off the anniversary of 7 years for the franchise. I don't know why I held it for, but 7 years of the franchise. I thought I'd give you guys a little bit of my retrospective, some of the things that I've thought about during the gameplay since the first one, some stories about it, some of the DLCs, and then go on to the second game and give you guys some of my thoughts on that. And then all lead up to the Witch Queen, the next expansion from Bungie on the Destiny DLC, and give you guys some of my thoughts of where this game's heading. So let's jump into it. As always, if you guys enjoyed the video, subscribe. A like really definitely helps, and leave some comments in below. Tell me some of your stories about Destiny, Destiny 2, and your stories of the franchise as a whole. I'd love to hear about them. Starting off, I mean, Halo was one of my favorite franchises of all time. Played the hell out of them, and more or less I got to understand and enjoy that. I actually liked the developer behind it, Bungie. I loved watching their VDOC series, getting to see the behind the scenes of game making, the culture behind it. I always thought there was a really cool studio to work for. And just, I met a lot of my great friends on here on Xbox Live and playing some Halo. And I remember being teased during the first time seeing ODST. We first got that picture image, and I remember the internet swirling and rumors going around that this was going to be Bungie's next flagship. And I remember talking it over with my friends, and we couldn't wait to see what Bungie had in store. One of the big things was during that time was the next gen. The PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One were on the horizon. They were what's coming up. Even though Destiny did launch on PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4 and Xbox 360 and Xbox One, I remember at the time I couldn't wait. We saw the E3 press conference. They finally showed the game. We had seen concept art for a while, and we were just so excited. I know I was. And then we got it, and I remember I was not working, but I wanted to play the best version. So I somehow, I don't know how, I was able to convince my girlfriend to get me basically I had the Xbox version of Destiny that I was going to play with my friends because everyone I knew was playing on Xbox. But they announced that they were partnering basically with Sony and PlayStation. So there was going to be exclusive items, cosmetics, and things like that were going to be only available on PlayStation 4. And there was like strikes and stuff like that they were doing. And I remember I had to have the limited edition. There's a collector's edition with a ghost inside. But since I was getting a PlayStation 4 with the limited edition, I was also getting a Xbox One, and I was playing just the regular version with my friends. It was a lot of money. And the things you do, I guess, for certain studios. Yeah, but this is the limited edition for Destiny. This one came with the first original expansion pass for what was it? The Dark Below and the House of Wolves. I remember that's the thing about this game, is that when this came out, there was a lot of controversy because we didn't know what kind of game this was going to be. And I remember definitely that the first expansions were not up to par, not what we were thinking. I remember especially we were always constantly trying to get to the next height level and things like that. It comes with a nice steelbook. And we got the book as well. And I remember there was so many times that we played, and like especially Crota, I remember I literally failed a test because I stayed up all night, and it was all of us, me and my friends, and we were not about to let that go. We kept wiping, kept trying until we got it right. So it came with a little grimoire book. It has like the logo. It's really nice quality. It comes with like a little booklet, and it shows you off some of the guns, such as the Thorn of the Last Word. It comes with like a couple of postcards of like the different cities, the destinations that were on the map. such as Mars and Venus. I remember specifically where we were trying to get the highest light level, and me and my friend Irvin, we had been playing all night. None of us wanted to be the first one to jump off, and I remember it was like 2 a.m. We were both like, let's get off, let's go to sleep, and let's start this in the morning. And I remember knocking out and getting up like 2 hours later, just turned on my console just to see, and what do you know, he's on. I was like, nope. I hopped on and we just started going and trying to raise that light level up. Also with this, we got the first expansion, the Taken King, which really expanded upon the game, which I absolutely loved. The story was awesome. The cinematics were amazing, especially the raid. The raid was so awesome. The Oryx fighting Crota's dad. I mean, there was so much lore that it sucks, because this is one of those games where I wish a lot of it was in the game. A lot of it was in like grimoire cards and things like that, which really sucked because weren't able to like just get a real sense of the story. You had to go more or less to YouTube and look at lore videos and see, you know, like My Name is Biff, or there's some other people that do a lot of great videos, and just seeing those lore content and not being in the game was such a bummer, because it has an amazing story. The lore is pretty deep. After the Taken King, we got the Rise of Iron. Now that's where one of the last pieces of the game that I played. I didn't really play a lot of it. I remember playing the beginning and stuff like that, but I never really got too heavy into it. I was kind of burnt out of the game by then. If you know the game Destiny, it takes a toll on you. There's a lot, even though at the beginning you say there's not a lot of content, when you really get into it and you're trying to raise each 3 characters up and get all the highest light level, it can be kind of taxing on it, and it does kind of burn you out. Other things that I found so funny about Destiny 1 was the app is great. You can get on there, connect. There's a lot of activities that do require 3 people, 6 people for raids, and sometimes you can't get those people, but the app is awesome because you could find people, join their fire teams. And I remember one of the main things during the Crota was that if you did not have a Gallahorn, no one would let you join in their parties. Everyone had to have a Gallahorn. And I thought that was so funny that, I mean, people were like, the Vex Mytho class, people were wanting these exotics, and they were sometimes not dropping. And when you got them, people were like, okay, you can join this team, you can join this raid party, but you gotta have this. You gotta have this certain item. And I always thought that was so hilarious. Though Destiny and Bungie, they had said that it was gonna be a 10-year game. That was their plan, was they were gonna, finance or really add the livelihood of it for 10 years, but they really didn't. After Rise of Iron, they basically went silent. Not really silent, but eventually what we got was Destiny 2. Now this takes place right after all the Destiny 1 content. This one was a little different on this game. I was still really excited for the franchise. Up until this point, like I said, I was buying the expansions, buying the DLC, loving every moment of this game. The lore was also getting better, and Destiny 2, unfortunately for me, was where I got like a sour taste. Now, I loved, when I first got this game, I loved it. I was having a blast. But just like with Destiny 1, the first expansions that we got, Warmind and Curse of Osiris, there was no meat and potatoes to it. It was so shallow. I remember being so butthurt about it. Here's the steelbook. Really nice. Absolutely love the steelbooks for Destiny. Yeah, I remember just being so burnt out, and unfortunately after the Warmind, I kind of like booked it out. Like, I was done with the game. I was done with the franchise. It comes with a nice Callus poster for the first raid. A little booklet, which was awesome because you could use it for the raid. There was like some secrets. And again, some like postcards and things of that nature. One of the coolest things I would say that Bungie has done right is they make amazing collector's editions, limited editions, you name it. They got some really cool stuff. And yeah, after Warmind, I kind of jumped out of the game. I was a little bit salty, had left a bad taste in my mouth, and I had basically put the game down. But one of the next things that we got was the expansion Forsaken, and it really added a lot of element to the game. Really mixed it up, and I think that's where I jumped back on. Forsaken was great. The story, the lore, again, keeps getting better. And then we got Shadowkeep. This one I am like indifferent about because the lore, the story was great, but most of the gameplay and like Moon, I wasn't really digging as a new going back to. I didn't really like it as much, and I thought it was kind of like meh. So now we've got up until after Shadowkeep. Now we've got Beyond Light. We got basically Destiny goes free to play, which is awesome. It's like it's a hit or miss because you don't really get in much if you do the free to play, but doing more of the expansions is great. And we get Beyond Light. Great. Adds a new element, Stasis. We also get the dark abilities. We start getting in that lore. Beyond Light adds so much lore. The cutscenes are amazing. And it really brought up the game to a next level for me. I am absolutely loving Destiny at this point right now. Loving what they're doing. And that's what brings me up to the next expansion, the Witch Queen. So with the Witch Queen, up until leading this, we've got battle passes or seasons, and that added a lot of context to the lore. We're able to flesh out something. One of the things that I've absolutely loved that we're leading into the Witch Queen is the Season of the Lost. What I think Bungie's doing awesome is that we're dealing with the villain or the boss slowly, meticulously, and I like that because it gives us a overarch of this is a really cool villain. Savathun is looking to be amazing as a boss or a villain. Most of the other times you see when we get an expansion or a DLC, it's like you do like 4 hours of missions, do a raid, you kill the guy. With this one, I like that they're building over time. Slowly, we're getting to know this villain, and it builds them a better story. That's the one that brings me up to the Witch Queen expansion, is that Bungie's announced that we're getting a crafting system for guns, and maybe just guns and armor. But hopefully it's not monetized. I really do hope that if they do, it's not just money hungry. I hope that the crafting system is with the game in mind at first, being able to get rerolls, get a gun that you want. I really think that should be it. But with the Witch Queen, we're getting a new weapon type. We are also rebuilding the original classes. The Void, the Arc, and the Solar are going to be rebuilt up, which I think is going to be nice. And overall, I'm definitely absolutely loving what Bungie is doing with the franchise at the moment. I think they finally, it's been a roller coaster of a franchise. I really believe that. But I really think that Bungie has hit their stride, and I really think we're going to see a lot of cool stuff, especially in 2022. They also announced the expansions past that, so I think we're going to be looking good, and I think we're really going to enjoy this. But as always, guys, let me know what you thought about Destiny 2. Did you guys like it, or did you jump off? I hear mixed signals across the board, but just let me know your stories, your favorite classes, Titan, Hunters, Warlocks. Let me know in the comments below. And as always, guys, thank you.